Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's doing fine during the lockdown. I'm Ayesha Arora, and I'm glad that so many of you have found this topic of personal finance worth your while. The idea of inviting you to a brief session today was to build scenarios under which we women, with respect to our finances or money matters, often find ourselves. And more importantly, the need for women to particularly arm themselves with the knowledge and tools to handle their personal finances. It's not going to be a maths class, I promise. I'll keep it simple and practical. What I want to achieve is to make women financially prepared to a reasonable degree to feel empowered, get involved in family finances, manage their current finances better, or just purely out of interest. So, my first job at 20 as a banker needed me to advise high net worth clients on asset allocation and wealth management. These words, portfolio, asset allocation, asset classes, they used to send shivers up my spine. I thought I was in the wrong job. Didn't advising people where to invest their 2 crores need gray hair? So, long story short, I was encouraged to start my own small investment portfolio to gain knowledge as well as start a savings plan early to benefit from the compounding effect. We'll touch upon some of these concepts in my future sessions. The audience I'm addressing today, I'm assuming, is a mix of women in age groups 20 to 40. And if that's the case, it's great because an early start in managing your savings works like magic. But money isn't something that you need to discuss at a certain age. It can be talked about at any age. There are reasons for this. And again, I'll touch upon some of these a little later. To me, personal finance is a life skill, much more important than any other skill. Wouldn't you all agree? Each of us makes about 6 to 7 money decisions a day. Yet somehow we're expected to get each one right. How is that possible? Our education system teaches us very little about one of the most important aspects of adult life, money. There's a sense of shame or embarrassment about not knowing. I think of parenting as an interesting comparison. Most of us are not ashamed to ask for help when it comes to being new parents. Also, growing up, we were not supposed to know how much our parents, earned for a living or how much they made, how much family investments they had. Another big issue in our country is money discussions have been considered taboo, more so in patriarchal family setups. I'm sure a few feminists amongst us are saying, men and women are the same. But when it comes to our finances, let's face it, the reality is there is lesser or absolutely no equality. Typically, what are our fears? They range from not having the knowledge and experience, being afraid of talking about money, being afraid of looking greedy, to not appearing super smart or saving a lot but not investing. I feel one of the biggest problem our society is battling today is this total lack of transparency about money. We are more comfortable talking about it with our colleagues in office corridors than we are in our own homes. Yet, we have to swallow our pride and go along with the flow of things, which makes us dependent and vulnerable to any and all external factors we seek help from to make our money related decisions, right? The idea of my sessions is to help you work to get over that. Over a period of time, my conversation with some of my friends have made me realize that each of us has had a moment where a reaction to a certain situation was one of the two. I wish I knew better, or I wish I'd saved for a rainy day. Think about it. If you have faced that and felt helpless, I'm not someone who will tell you it's too late. Instead, I encourage everybody to take a few tips or concepts from these sessions and try and apply them to yourself. Today, women need to advocate for themselves talking about money in any forum. It doesn't have to be like walking into a car mechanic or not knowing the parts of an engine, because there you can afford not to know. In today's talk, I really hope to be able to get across to you a little bit of financial savviness by sharing my personal journey, experiences, and my, on the path learning. I want to encourage women to have that sense of wonder and questioning mindset about their money. Whether you're working or not, young or old, professional or an entrepreneur, having been saving or just looking to start, The need of the hour for every woman across the board is to increase her financial fluency. If you are especially trying to figure out your money situation, these sessions are for you. It's going to take time, discipline, zestful learning, but it's going to be worth it. After my 3 subsequent sessions, you're going to find that by educating yourself with the basics of personal finance, you have the ability to openly discuss and apply your mind to your money. You're able to save, spend also, and invest for the future to create financial security. Money is our anchor in many ways. I really wish it weren't true, but it's a fact. We all want to create sustainable happiness for us and our families in the long run. We want to be okay regardless of the economy. In that, we must create financial security so that we can be illness proof, accident proof, or even incident proof. It becomes paramount to have financial freedom to create that type of happiness in our lives so that whatever be the economic scenario, your family will be able to thrive. Let's discuss the current environment that we're all stuck in. Everyone is getting adversely affected in the current crisis. COVID is going to deplete the finances and income of most people going forward. Job losses are going to take place. Financial status of everybody is going to take hit. This is unfortunately a natural phenomena that has hit every single person globally adversely. I just want to spend a few minutes walking you through the current economic scenario. It's important to know that the investment landscape will be very different from what it was about 2 years ago. Options to invest are getting limited. The government is not necessarily going to support through its saving schemes like it was doing earlier. It's bootstrapped. Their interest rates are going to drop. It's not going to be able to support with lucrative small saving schemes like the PPF or the post office schemes. They themselves are running short of money, and hence more money is going to be printed to be distributed to the social sector. As a result, inflation is going to rise over a period of time. So with interest rates coming down and inflation rising, the real value of your money is going to get eroded. One is going to therefore have to reset his or her finances. We have to remember that money situations have changed for people in the past 2 years. What could have possibly been the savings plan for everybody a few years ago needs a fresh perspective in light of all of the above. I'm sure we're all getting the feeling that we need to support our families or ourselves even more now. Together, as couples or families, you will need to make some wise decisions going forward. When the pain of the outcome of this crisis manifests itself, the response that will be required from the woman of the house is going to be complete, or it's at least going to need to be completely unorthodox and completely different from what it's been in the past. It's an opportune time for women, therefore, to become partners and step forward. This includes everybody, working or not working. This lockdown has been an eye-opener for all of us. It has paved the way for more open money discussions between families. Husbands are starting to voice their concerns to their spouses. Parents are, sharing their anxieties more willingly with their sons and daughters. Couples are together taking stock of their investments and rebalancing their portfolios. All in all, in these changed times, everybody is feeling the need to depend on their near and dear ones for money, financial discussions, money discussions, advice. If that be the case, a wife should gainfully use this time to plan her investments going forward. Now, little or more is not the point. It's the concept of I need to save for the future. I need to be protected. Learning about money management from a place of peace and calm over learning about it in a personal crisis can make that difference in your mental sanity going forward. The crisis could be anything that disrupts your mindset. I'm putting out there this narrative, which I'm sure is compelling everyone to take a fresh look at their personal finances, learn about it, use this opportunity to know what you own, what you owe, set some financial goals, and make your money work for you. Let's try and change that mindset by investing those savings to grow your money. In this context, I think it's important to also take a look at who we are, our behavior, and our habits around money. Okay, the second thing I want to talk about is this. Being ignorant about money doesn't get you to be wealthy, right? I mean, it's obvious. And neither does pushing out good financial planning. All our money problems for each one of us is a manifestation of that someday conversation. I will start investing someday. I will take that insurance policy someday. I'll write a will someday. I will learn about mutual funds or investments someday. And from personal experience, I can tell you in our busy lives that someday is further than you think. It almost never comes. And that delay, which I want to talk about later in detail, is regretful. So I want to push you all to make that decision. That day should be today because what you want to manifest is financial success and wealth. The third scenario I want to build is this: why women are going to need a more financially secure future than men. What are our headwinds? Women diligently save at home but do not make the best use of their savings. As women, we earn lesser. We spend more years out of the paid workforce because we tend to be the ones caring, for our older parents and kids. Also, on an average, we outlive men. Role of money in our lives tends to be different from that of men. Women tend to use money to do things. And for most men, it's a success metric. Women need to figure out how to make their money help them live the life that they want to live. Therefore, as we should, we view the act of investing from a more holistic standpoint. I'd like to ask and have everyone think about anybody that they know in one of these situations. Someone who's having to handle financial decisions for old parents. Someone stuck with bad or no money advice at an important juncture in her life. A friend getting married that needs her best friend to give her some important tips. Somebody dealing with the death of a loved one, or someone trying to figure out how to handle their money after a divorce, or somebody having to deal with childcare single handedly. Financial literacy brings you that freedom to pursue your life on your own terms. And then you can choose or leave a job for the right reason, stay or leave a relationship even for the right reason, pursue the hobbies and the passions that you always wanted to. Finally, I want to say that good personal finance is not difficult at all. As long as you save, spend, and invest everything that you have in a disciplined way, the application of it is really easy and the tools are fun to use. The feeling it gave me for the first time that I got involved with money concepts left me feeling calm, confident. It gave me clarity about my money in a way that I never thought was possible. To do the same, you need to educate yourself on the process. And this is the process that I intend on taking you through in the next 3 sessions so you feel qualified to handle every aspect of your money. If you're feeling energized once you wind up, do call a friend you care about and tell her how important it is to get on top of her personal finances, especially in the current environment. Amidst all the available content out there and the noise, I want to filter it down for you to what is absolutely necessary in very simplified terms to handle all kinds of situations that you might find yourselves in. More than anything, if you can change your current mindset about money and become decisive, the key word is decisive. It's an absolute game changer. I will hold 3 sessions over Zoom over the next few weeks, covering the following topics. 1, healthy spending and budgeting. That's how not to get into financial trouble with the 50-30-20 rule of spending. The idea is to live within your means for all hardworking, well-intentioned adults. 2, holistic financial planning, where you are right now, where you want to go, and to identify the specific actionable steps you need to get you to your goals. These steps will be around saving and spending levels, around your investment decisions, around your insurance coverages, etc. And the third is personal finance for kids. How to grow their portfolios through systematic slow growth, and how powerful it is to give your kids an education on this topic before they move out. The charges are 600 per session to be paid at the time of registration for that session. Each session is going to be for about 30 minutes. We can have a 10-minute Q&A post that. I want to thank each one of you for taking a listen to the importance of personal finance for women in the current environment. I sincerely hope that some of these simple ideas resonate with you and that I can make personal finance a habit for all women. Thank you all for listening.